After sailing for around 18 hours, we finally reached Norway, and beautiful islands welcomed us into Northern territory. We could see the Oslo Opera House from the top of the cruise. And now it was the time for us to get off the cruise and explore the beautiful Norway capital, Oslo. After all the immigration clarifications, we exited the DFDS Oslo terminal and were about to explore the city. As soon as we exited the terminal, more or less it gave us the similar impression like of any other European city. We bought tickets for the city tour on the double-decker bus. The tour costed us 400 Norwegian crowns for an adult and 200 Norwegian crowns for a child, and the tickets were valid for 24 hours. The bus had audio guides in 8 languages. The bus route had 14 stops in total, covering all the major tourist attractions of Oslo, and the weather was fantastic. And now, with this, we started the tour of Oslo. This cruise was the one on which we sailed from Copenhagen to Oslo. On our way, we also saw a massive German ship named as Ida. The ship had number of rooms with balconies. In the first glance, it seemed like a hotel to me. As our passes were valid for 24 hours, we could get off at any of the 14 stops and could take the next bus, which comes every half an hour, but due to the shortage of time, we were in a hurry, so we just decided to enjoy the tour from the top of the bus. Such copper statues can be seen all around Europe. We also passed some beautiful gardens and parks on the way. There were a lot of old colorful buildings. We were being told about the history of each and every monument that we crossed. We also passed one of the most beautiful and top ranked universities in the world, University of Oslo, which was founded in the year 1811 under the Danish rule. The weather was also very amazing. We also passed some beautiful countryside areas of Norway. The greenery was on its peak with a pollutionless and a very calm environment. I could sit here for hours and hours. On our way back, we saw hundreds of yachts and boats parked. Most of them were the private ones, and some were used for the fishing, as fishing plays an important role in the economic growth of Norway. We had to report to the DFDS Oslo terminal at 2:30 pm as the cruise had to depart for Copenhagen at 3 pm sharp. Since we had a very short period of time to explore the beautiful city of Oslo, so we decided to book another trip within 2 weeks. And yes, we were again back in Oslo after 2 weeks. But this time, we preferred to explore the city on foot instead of using any mode of transportation, so that we can explore the city more closely. And we again started off from the DFDS Oslo terminal, but the weather wasn't the same as the last time. It was a bit cloudy this time. After walking for almost 15 to 16 minutes, we finally reached our first destination, Oslo Opera House. On our way to the Opera House, within no time, we were being surrounded by the seagulls which were being fed by the people. Interestingly, I noticed a seagull wearing a tiny ring in its right feet which would give it an individual identification for the medical checkups. It was to my surprise that the Oslo Opera House was a magnificent state of art. Oslo Opera House was constructed in 2007 and was opened for the public in 2008. It was a unique building in itself. The white marble, which was mostly used to construct it, was imported from Italy and which gave it a beautiful shine. The Oslo Opera House is unique in itself as well as one of the most famous tourist attractions in Oslo. If you visit Oslo, it should be in your must-visit list. After getting to the top, I realized that how beautiful Oslo city was. The city was situated in between water on one and mountains on the other hand. The top of the opera house gave us an outstanding view of the city. The DFDS Oslo terminal as well as the cruise ship were clearly visible. Right next after the opera house, we walked towards the Oslo Central station. It wasn't also too much far away from the DFDS Oslo terminal and we could easily see our cruise from there. Oslo Central Station, too like the Malmo one, had a very futuristic and modern design. Large windows were installed on the roof which efficiently used the sunlight. It also helped to conserve the electricity. The natural sunlight had lightened up the station. The Oslo Central Station was more or less looking similar to an airport. There were a lot of brands, factory outlets in the station. The transportation system of Oslo really amazed me. Tram tracks were spread all over the city. Each and every minute a tram would pass by you. Each and every minute we could see a tram on the road. After walking for 8 to 10 minutes, we reached Mall of Oslo. It is one of the most famous malls in Scandinavia. As it was Sunday, so most of the stores were closed. Oslo had tram stops all around the city. This hammer sculpture represented the Norwegian resistance in World War II. The city itself was very clean, peaceful and calm. Now it was the time for us to get back to the DFDS Oslo terminal and to depart for Copenhagen. Most of the roads remained unbusy. Oslo didn't seem to be a busy city. The vehicles started boarding the DFDS cruise. We finally made it on time. The cruise was ready to depart for Copenhagen. Now it was the time for us to board the cruise. There were a lot of people on the top deck in order to say goodbye to Oslo. And here again our journey begins. I am really gonna miss the beautiful islands of Norway. Bye Oslo and hope to visit you soon again. After a few minutes of departure, while we were still in the Norwegian territory, two people on their boat started chasing us. It seemed normal until they did this. They were coming closer and closer time to time. They were literally risking their own lives, as messing with a massive cruise could cost them their lives too. They continued to do this 2-3 times until they got a warning horn from the captain. Soon, the day turned into night. How can we forget the party on a weekend night? After enjoying for some time, I went to sleep. What an outstanding view we got in the morning. Sun, fog, and the sunlight reflection from the sea, what a view it was. It seemed like we were in a fairy tale. Within no time, the fog surrounded us from all of the four sides. Within a game of seconds, the fabulous looking fog started turning into danger, causing zero visibility. Entering into the Danish territory with this weather was unexpected. It was looking like that we were in a parallel universe. The captain had to horn and had to warn the other boats to get a sight if they were on the way. Once the fog was over, I realized that the fog was covering this beautiful view. Finally, after sailing for another 18 hours, we reached our city, Copenhagen. After getting the permission from the captain, all the vehicles started deboarding the cruise. Finally, we reached Copenhagen. We remained in the cruise until everybody got deboarded. Norwegian seals end here. Hope you liked it, and we will be visiting other European countries too. Till next time, goodbye and have a great day.